You know that feeling? You're staring at a creative writing prompt and your mind just goes blank? Totally stuck? Well, if that's you, you're in exactly the right spot. In this explainer, we're going to tear apart a really cool assignment. I'm talking about giving you a game plan, not just for a good story, but for a truly great one. So, let's dive in.
Okay, so here's our mission. The prompt is, the day technology took over my decisions. Just let that sink in for a minute. The possibilities are absolutely endless, right? This isn't just some boring title. It's a doorway to 1,000 different stories. And our job? It's to find the perfect one to tell.
Right. So the big question is, how do we take that one little sentence and turn it into a story that actually feels alive? You know, the kind of story that a grader's going to remember long after they've finished reading. It's not magic. It's all about having a solid strategy. So let's build that strategy together, step by step, starting with the rules of the game.
Okay, so every creative mission has its rules, right? Before we let our imaginations run wild, we need to know the basic guidelines. There are two key things here that are going to shape our entire story.
First up, this has to be written like a diary entry. That means it needs to feel personal, like we're reading someone's secret thoughts. But here's the kicker, and this is the real challenge, the word count, 140 to 160 words. That is super tight. It means we have absolutely zero room for fluff. Every single word has to count, every sentence has to pull its weight.
Yeah, with a word count that strict, you can't just wing it. You can't just start typing and hope a masterpiece appears. The secret weapon here is planning. You need a blueprint before you lay a single brick. So let's get our map out and start plotting this story.
Honestly, every great short story, especially one this short, follows a really simple recipe. 3 ingredients. First, you need a scenario. Just what was life like before things got weird? Then, you add the conflict. This is where tech messes everything up. And finally, you have the resolution. How did it all shake out in the end? What was the lesson? That's it. Scenario, conflict, resolution. That's the backbone of your entire story.
And hey, if you're scratching your head thinking, what scenario? Just look around you. Think about your own daily life with technology. You know that fitness app that's screaming at you to run 1 more mile? Or your navigation app that swears a dead-end street is a shortcut? How about your smart home speaker that suddenly starts playing polka music? The best, most relatable stories come from those small, everyday moments. The ones that are kind of funny or, let's be real, super frustrating.
Okay, so you've got your idea locked in. Awesome. Now, how do we actually build this thing so it feels like a real diary entry? Let's break it down piece by piece.
First things first, you gotta make it feel authentic. And the easiest way to do that? A simple date and time. Something like Monday, 5:15 p.m. It instantly pulls the reader in. It's such a small detail, but it totally sells the idea that, hey, this is real. You're getting a peek inside my journal.
Now, for your opening, you want to set the scene. Paint a quick picture of what normal looked like just moments before the technology barged in. What were you up to? See, when you show us that before, the after, that moment when the tech takes over, hits so much harder.
Okay, here we go. This is the main event, the moment of truth. What exactly did the technology do? And this is the crucial part, how did it make you feel? Don't just say, I was annoyed. No. Show us. Describe that flash of panic or that eye-rolling moment of pure frustration. Let us feel it with you.
All right, so the tech did its thing. What happened next? What were the ripple effects? This is your chance to really bring the story to life. Instead of just saying, it was chaos, describe it. What did you see? What did you hear? Maybe your little brother started laughing, or your mom looks super confused. Pull in those sensory details, because that's what makes the reader feel like they're right there in the room.
And to wrap it all up, the ending. Every story's got to have one. So how did it all turn out? What was the final result? And hey, maybe you learned something from it all. This is where you tie a bow on it, bring it all together, and leave your reader with one last little thought to chew on.
So you've got the plan, you've got the structure, now it's time for the fun part, the actual writing. But remember, getting the words down is really only half the job. The other half is all about polishing it till it sparkles.
A great way to make your story flow beautifully is to use good connector words. Think of them as little signposts for your reader. Phrases like, it all started when, or suddenly, or to my surprise. They're like the glue that holds all the pieces together. They make the whole thing feel smooth and easy to follow.
We're in the home stretch, but before you even think about hitting submit, we need to do one last super important pass.
run through this final checklist. Check your grammar, your vocabulary, spelling, punctuation, all the technical stuff. And then ask yourself the big question. Does this still sound like a real person talking in their diary? Getting this right is what separates a pretty good story from an absolutely fantastic one.
And last but not least, a really simple one. Formatting. Don't throw away easy points here. Just make sure it's Arial, size 14, and double-spaced. It seems small, but following the rules shows you're serious and you're paying attention to all the details.
Okay, your story is written, it's polished, it looks great. But how do we make sure it hits that perfect score? Well, the final piece of the puzzle is to think like the person who's going to be grading it. Let's pull back the curtain and look at the official scorecard so you know exactly what they're searching for.
So as you can see, it's not just one big grade. It's broken down into 6 different categories, and each one is worth 5 points. We're talking, did you actually do the assignment? Is your story organized? Does it flow logically? And then you've got the nitty-gritty stuff: grammar, vocab, spelling, and punctuation. The really important thing to notice here is that they're all worth the same. So you could have the most amazing story idea in the world, but if the execution isn't clean, you're not getting top marks.
Add it all up, and you get 30 points. That's the bullseye. And look, that's not some crazy, impossible number. It's a target that is totally within reach if you just follow the game plan we've laid out.
So there you have it. You've got the tools, you've got the structure, you even have the cheat sheet for the scorecard. The only thing left is your story. So think about it. Your life, your phone, all those weird, funny, frustrating moments you have with technology every single day. The question is, what's the one story that only you can tell?